London, Ontario, Canada. Located 200 kilometers west of Toronto is a mass of land that has nights of ice and is the grand birthplace of Ryan Gosling. With its sweet smell of marvelous multicultural food and sweeter sounds of multi-ethnic music, bears a history that has never been forgotten, but embraced, as the ghosts of this murder family and surrounding town/area will never let the knowledge die. Join me as I poorly uncover the mass murders of the Donnelly family in and around London, Ontario. King of the Canadian Hill, make a murder in our Ontario. Whilst I finished up with my interview with Millie and the Orangeville Choppings, another very old person staggered up to me full of that Timmy's caffeine and announced that if you like Irish Protestant and Catholic violence, then by golly, have I got a nasty religious hate murder for you, young bucko. I do not like Catholic v. Protestant violence, and I was uncomfortably prepared for him to tell me the tragic tale of the kind Muslim family of 5 that had been killed by an Islamic-phobic truck driver in 2021. However, when he told me his name and the direction his tale went, I was intrigued nonetheless and accepted his invitation to conduct an interview at the Tim Hortons located at the end of Richmond and Main Street, young bucko. I was not amused by my new nickname. Colin Connolly Dolan, whose great-great-grandpapa, I was told, was Father Francis Connolly. That was the head of the Irish Catholic Church in Lucian, Ontario, north of London, Ontario, in the 1880s, and was an integral architect in the demise of the family of bullies, vandals, thieves, and animal killers, the Donnellys. In the 1880s, on the street called Roman Line, close to St. Paddy's Church, where some more Irish Protestant and Catholic hoedowns were aplenty, is where the Donnelly family, James Sr. and wife Joanna, first laid their roots down and raised their 7 boys named James Jr., William, Thomas, John, Robert, Samuel, and Binky, as told by Mr. Connolly Dolan. Within the decade, all unlucky 7 of these brothers were a drunken force to be reckoned with in the streets and taverns of London, Ontario. The moniker, the Black Donnellys, came to be when James Sr. beat to death Pat Farrell with an axe at a London logging mill, and with that dark name came also that of a group of like-minded local drunks that wanted to stop the Donnellys in their tracks, a group called the Property Protective Association. Why that name, you ask? Well, it was due to the fact that the Donnelly bros, under orders from James Sr. whilst in prison for the murder, stole and or destroyed property for personal gain or pleasure/revenge. For years, the PPA stood firm on their protection code and attempted to thwart the Donnellys at every evil deed. But too much drinking got in the way, thus the Donnellys held more victories, and booze better, than losses. At the end of the day, it was up to Father Francis Connolly and Head Constable James Carroll to take charge of the group, rename it the Peace Protection Society, hold secret meetings in the middle of nowhere dark Highway 23 every night, and plan the destruction of the Black Donnellys once and for all. That day came on the 6th of June at 6 a.m. Yes, that's what Colin told me. The plan was to capture all 7 of the Donnelly brutal bros, with the father being the main one, then tying them all up to a gigantic sap tree only to set it ablaze with fire, like the Donnellys did to so many locals of London's barns, and confess their crimes. But what they ended up doing was, in retaliation to Binky Donnelly's animal mutilations over the years, was to get the entire Lucian township, spread them out evenly, to head on over to all the Donnelly family houses and beat some of them to death with clubs, stab some of them to death with pitchforks, and shoot some of them point blank with hunting rifles. Then end it all off with burning down the homes and chopping off Joanna's small dog's head. It was said that Binky survived the town-wide attack only to eat the burnt liver and heart of his brother Will and his father James, absorb their power, thus gained the strength of 100 men, and chased the townfolk of Lucian, Ontario into the London Sifton bog woods, never to be seen again. No one was ever convicted of the murders of the Donnelly family, and James Carroll went on to write his autobiographical book, My Life as a Murder's Drunken Weapon, a Carroll story. But it is to my understanding that the ghosts of the murdered Donnelly family haunt the outskirts of London, Ontario, to give heed and warning to any visitor that could see them, of the townsfolk that live within. Whatever the case may be, London, Ontario, and more importantly, Lucian, Ontario, they seem to embrace the dastardly deeds of the past and move forward with the information of what it means to be an ignorant, drunken lout. The townships seem to battle with this issue with success in the form of an epic rib fest that has over 200 rib exhibits, 100 live bands, and an amusement park. Only to match it with Sunfest in Victoria Park with the same epic thing that has 300,000 peeps eating, dancing, and enjoying art and culture from many different world backgrounds.